Alright, so I was debating whether to redo this or not, because kind of the point of having these Wayfarer glasses is to not do stuff like that and spend time redoing things. But one thing I did learn is that you don't realize how much you move your head around until you're videoing from that perspective. So to avoid making everyone throw up, I am redoing this. This is just going to be a little overview of my little shop here. And so I guess starting over here, this glass marker board, dry erase board, my little space used to be inside, or half of it used to be inside, so I'd write down stuff here for app development, that type of thing. Most of the stuff there is old, or it's been pushed to the side for a while, so need to get back into that. But right now we're doing stuff out here and try to break my stuff up into sections. So if I get back onto the computer and do some coding or app development or something like that, I gotta commit to it for a couple weeks or something at least. So anyways, the rest of that is storage. I have some epoxy resin stuff back there. Try to get into that a little bit. Just haven't quite figured it out. It took a lot of time. A lot of hands-on time too, but maybe I'm sure I'm doing something wrong. But other than that, filament storage, some different stuff, sandpaper, and over here got the tool bench on wheels, the Husky. Just got that probably 4 or 5 months ago. Super nice. The biggest thing honestly is just being able to put the printers on it, because they're not super heavy, but they shake a little bit, and so having something super sturdy like this has been really nice. And able to put them both next to each other. So the printer on the right actually also I just got probably about the same time as the toolbox. I have two. They're both Bambu Lab P1S's with an AMS, and I got my first one about a year and a half ago, and it was not quite double, but close to it when I just got this other one. But it's a really good, I think, like starter printer, I guess, but gives you the ability really to, kind of move past that starter level really quickly. So you can get one, do some prints really easily, but then you also have the capabilities to do more advanced stuff and different filaments and that type of thing. And then the AMS allows you to have 4 spools loaded in, and without, I guess, knowing what came before that, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal. But and there's still a lot of printers out there like that today, where you can only have 1 spool loaded at a time. So every time you want to switch colors or material or whatever, something like that, you have to manually come out here and swap that. So having 4 is usually more than plenty, but still super nice. And you can actually hook up 4 of these AMSs together, so you could technically have like 16 colors going into one printer for one print or something like that. So that'd be wild. But moving on, the toolbox, I guess. So I moved all my tools into here, just like home and garage tools and stuff. And then I've also put my kind of inventory and then other specific things kind of for 3D printing or whatever, my little business in here as well. So having this like little inventory area is super nice, because before I would just have some extra fan mounts and they'd just sit inside, and even there they'd collect dust pretty fast. So being able to have them in here keeps them nice and everything real good. That door's a mess, but just some more random stuff. Yeah, so I'm not gonna. The rest are just tools mostly. Moving over, got my little trash bin there. Underneath, the box on the left is kind of random stuff, loose filament, and the box on the right is shipping boxes, bubble wrap, tissue paper, and that's kind of what it encompasses. There's some poly mailers, like little bubble mailers in there too. This table, this thermal label printer has been super nice. before you can just like print them out on paper and cut them and glue them or something, but having this, being able to print on like adhesive sticker label, I think it just looks a lot more professional, and then it saves time too and just ends up being nicer and easier, so it's pretty minimal cost. Everything else on here, got some extra fan mounts. Some of these will be just stored as inventory, most of the black ones here. Dremel I just recently got. Soldering iron here. That hasn't been used a ton, but I plan to use it for like heat insets and that type of thing, so gives me the ability to put like metal threads into the 3D printed parts. Moving over, we'll come back to that 2-watt xTool there. Actually, yeah, that's all my filament there, minus I guess what's in the printers, and then on the storage rack over there. I think I'm probably not the only person where you get to a point where you have like 50 or 60 spools and you're kind of like, how did I get here? And I don't really know, but you just kind of accumulate things over time. A lot of these are different colors where I needed like a little bit of a color, and now I have 95% of the spool left or something like that. There's different materials up here. PLA is the most common. I usually have them separated kind of like their own side or something, or their own little section, but they're pretty mixed up right now. But PLA is the main stuff. I got PETG or PETG. That's kind of like the next step up. It's typically doesn't print as aesthetically pleasing, but is stronger. ASA and ASA carbon fiber, that's like pretty I don't know, engineering grade or industrial grade or something. It's actually pretty it's a pretty strong thermoplastic and really good for outdoor use, because it isn't affected by UV rays, and then obviously temperature and water resistant as well. Alright, moving over here, this is the laser I just got a couple months ago. It's an xTool S1 40 watt. And that's a diode laser that's in there right now. And so the package I got also came with a 2-watt IR laser. And so basically I use that 99% of the time. The IR laser comes in handy if I'm ever working on metal without a coating, so like something like maybe like a silver necklace or gold necklace or something like that, where it doesn't have a coating like a tumbler would have with black over that stainless steel or copper, because the diode's going to cut through the coat and not the metal, and so that it can do that well. In the laser right now I have the rotary tool. That also came with the package I got, but there's two different pieces, I guess, or whatever. I don't know even how to say it, but this is the chuck rotary attachment, and so the tumbler kind of just goes over that, and then you tighten it, or you can clamp down on it as well, and then that back piece there is just for leveling. There's also another piece that is kind of like 2 long rollers, like almost like a hot dog roller, but you just set the width to whatever you're using. There's three different widths, and then you also just set the back on there as well. So that one works really easy to get going. But right now I kind of just like the chuck a little bit better. I don't know, for whatever reason. I did tumbler with a handle for Buddy, and so I needed that extra clearance, which is why I jumped to it. And then I don't know, it just seems to work well, and I don't really have a reason to switch back right now. Moving over here, so with the xTool, I'm sure there's other ways to do it, but I have there's the xTool Creative Space, their software, and so I just leave my computer plugged up to the laser, and that way when I can come out here and run the whatever project or whatever I'm going to run. And what's really nice about xTool is that or their software is that I can work on it inside, so I'm not out in the garage if it's cold or something. And then it just uploads to the cloud, and I can just refresh it super easily, and then just, you know, start it out here. Yeah, that's mostly it. I got some tumblers here that I've worked on. Probably messed them both up, but it's definitely a learning experience, but it's super cool. And then over here is kind of my fan table. I got some residual borax and a pheasant fan from this previous year, and a sharp tail fan from a couple years ago. I had that inside, but I was messing around with some different mounts, and it ended up out here. Other than that, that cardboard box is a box of tumblers, and I think that's pretty much it. I got a little chair there, rug, and yeah, it's been pretty good. So yeah, that's kind of the space for now, and yeah, we'll see you later.